Excuse me.
Okay, hello. Welcome to our movie class, to talk movie club. Let's call it a club. Today we have a movie, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Pretty old one, 1966, as I learned 1 second ago. And another story, maybe another fact, maybe you don't know this, but it's a third episode. How we call it actually? Prequel, sequel, trequel.
I just got the third movie in the series.
Okay, so it's a third movie in a series of what we call spaghetti westerns, right?
Yep.
Really?
Trilogy, spaghetti trilogy. Okay.
Not spaghetti, dollars trilogy.
Really? I always call this spaghetti. Leila, do you know why I call it spaghetti?
No, why?
Okay. When we're talking about spaghetti, what country do you think?
Of course, Italy.
Italy, yeah. And it was an Italian movie with Italian director and I guess plot and everything.
Clint Eastwood is enough.
to call it American, right? So Sergio Leone is a producer, I guess, or writer or director, everything. Yeah.
If you ever watch American cowboy movies, they're totally different than the spaghetti westerns. The Italians love blood. They love killing. They love violence.
Oh my God.
So the spaghetti westerns are a unique genre of movies.
Okay.
And we really love it in Russia, I guess. Sergey, am I right? Do we love this spaghetti westerns in Russia?
Yeah, so much.
It's true. Actually, we have our own Russian westerns, which are what this says, provoked by these spaghetti westerns, inspired by them. So we have.
Ivan, that was this old American actor who plays Western films a lot. Remember his name? He was very famous.
John Wayne.
John Wayne.
Yes.
Audie Murphy.
John Wayne.
And we did one movie of John Wayne.
Charles Bronson is a famous actor.
Really?
Yep. Lee Marvin.
Okay, we have to mention that the movie is enormous long, right? It's almost 3 hours. 3 hours of. That's why Leila did not manage to watch it in general, in whole. So we have to describe it. Leila, but let's start with you. Tell us about the cast. Who are the main characters?
So, as far as I remember, there are, 3 important people for me. It's Tuco, is the wanted criminal, right? He's the ugly, and the good, of course, Blondie, they call him, Clint Eastwood, and he's a professional gunslinger, and Lee Cliff, I think, the bad. He is a hitman.
Yeah, hitman, right. So I made some notes. So Clint Eastwood is a blondie or man with no name. We don't know why it's man with no name. It's covered in previous episodes, I guess.
They never tell you his name. In all 4 movies, you never learn his name.
Right.
Wow,
right.
interesting.
And I remember episode with soldiers with this captain, and he said, "What is your name? What did you say? What's your name?" And they were silent, so no names discovered. Okay, so Angel Eyes, it's a bad one, right? What is his? What is his origin? He looks like from Latin America, no?
Yeah, Mexico maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. Lee Cliff.
Lee Cliff is the ugly one, right? Oh no, it's the bad one.
It's the bad one. Ugly one is Tuco.
The Mexican's the ugly one.
and let me read the whole name: Tuco Benedicto Pacifico Juan Maria Ramirez. So for short, we can call this. And I have a note known as the rat, according to Blondie. Okay, we know we know the trio. Let's call them the trio. Let's start with the story. So how the story started, Leila? Tell us, please.
First, the music attracted me a lot. I must confess this. And then I saw two men on the other side. There is one man. They were walking. I thought they were going to shoot at each other, but instead they just jumped into a bar. And then I understood that this wanted criminal, Tuco, was there. So they wanted to catch him, but Tuco killed everybody and ran away.
Right? Let me ask Vova. Vova, what does it mean wanted?
Is it
It
means people who found.
who have to be found, right? Who
Yes.
made something bad and someone pay someone else money to get you, right? So it's wanted. So teacher, why police did not do that? Why we need this, volunteers, vigilance?
Well, back then there weren't many lawmen. There's maybe a town might have one sheriff and one deputy.
Mhm.
And a lot of time, and the West was big, so you didn't know where the guy was. So somehow these two men learned that Tuco was in town. So they decided to go kill him and get a bounty, a reward for killing the bad guy.
And bounty looks like enormous, right? $2,000 at that time. It's a lot.
A lot of money, yeah.
What is what do you think? What is an, I don't know, average salary of, I don't know, a soldier, for instance?
I don't know. There's one cowboy song called Mr. Shorty.
Mhm.
And it's a good song, Mr. Shorty. But in that song, he says he'll work for $30 a month.
$30 a month. Wow.
So $2,000 is a couple years wages, I guess.
That's a lot. Okay, so they tried to catch Tuca, but he wasn't. What's the word for this?
He killed them instead.
Yeah. He was a dodgy guy.
That
Right?
scene was funny, Ivan. He was holding a piece of chicken. One hand, I think he was eating, and one hand a knife. He was holding a knife.
Right.
Oh no, revolver, not a knife.
A gun, yeah.
Right.
Okay. Would you like to describe more, Leila?
And then he just rode the horse and went away. He managed to escape. And then I saw the ugly angel eyes. He came to a house where a man, his wife, and two kids, I guess, were living. And he wanted to talk to the guy about David Jackson or somebody like that, because there was money they were hiding. But David Jackson covered his identity, and now his name is, I forgot, something Jones.
Maybe, I don't remember also.
And then he killed the family, but he learned that this man was living somewhere because there is a treasure, a lot of money is concerned.
Mhm. And this guy, he offered money to the bet, right? To say, "Don't kill me. I pay you more, just just to save himself," right? And I like this famous phrase, I always do what I'm paid for, something like this.
A man's got to do what a man's got to do. The mission must get done.
Yeah. Looks like he find I don't know, pleasure to make these things done.
So someone paid him to kill the family? Is that what it sounds like?
Not a family, a guy, but family was just
only the lady was alive.
Collateral damage. No
Collateral
witnesses.
Actually, son had a rifle and tried to
Attack him.
attack him. Yeah, so
Okay.
that's the reason. Lady was alive. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay, Sergey, could you continue?
Where is the stop?
Yeah, bad guy killed the family and returned back to what's the name for this? To Carson.
Okay, the good comes to the scene now.
The movie is very long, and I'm not sure that it's step by step. I will describe, but I think that Tuco and Blondie plan to have the collaboration with Save Money again, and say they were continuing to make the affair with wanted table, what's the police, and one time Blondie didn't shoot on the wire, and Tuca had a lot of problem with this neck, and Tuca remembered this, and he wanted to kill Blondie, and when Blondie have a saloon, I don't know.
Was it
Where,
in Salon?
not saloon, where Blondie made this affair with different person. Tuco catch up Blondie, and the different person was killed this wire.
But it was far away from there. Let's so in the beginning Blondie made a miss, and Tuco almost was it? Strangulated, usually how we call it?
Hanged to death.
Hand. And he started to to brag. So he started to be annoyed and to talk about it again and again. And Blondie say, "Okay, you know, my friend, I will leave you here in the desert. You know, that was the reason of this quarrel, of this."
I just want to ask two things. Teacher Lee, can we say they were partners in crime?
In a way, yes. Although hunting for buried treasure itself is not a crime, killing people to get it is a crime. So, but yeah, I'd call them partners in crime. Yeah.
Okay. And the second one, why the good decided not to go on this game anymore? Why he stopped? I just missed that part.
He did not stop, Layla. He continued. Gerard, please.
The Tuco was greedy because he said to Blondie that he was taking the risk of being hanged.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was the reason that Blondie.
He was nagging Blondie. It's my risk. It's my neck. I'm run the risk, and you get the money. So let's change the percentage. And
okay. All right.
So Blondie and Tuco had a scam going.
Yeah.
They were con men.
Yeah.
Blondie would turn in Tuco, get the reward,
right,
and then save Tuco, and then they just kept doing that over and over. So Tuco kept being very close to death every time they did this scam. So he wanted a bigger percentage of the money.
right.
It was a funny dialogue, by the way. So he said, "Yes, you run the risk, but you know, if I get less money, I can be, I can miss again. You know." So that's the problem. But the good guy wasn't so good. So he left his partner in the desert. You know, how we call it, with a rope, usually. So how we call it, attached to
Yeah.
rope, hang it. I don't know what was the word.
With a noose around his neck.
Yeah, and he actually tried to humiliate him. He said, "For a man like you, it's not a problem to get the town." So it was a humiliation or something. It was teasing, to say the least. And Sergey, you use the word affair or something. I don't think it's an English word. English word is a scam or con.
Scam.
or something like this. Yeah. So they were partners in scam. But then
Crime.
Blondie
Just
in crime.
in crime, yeah.
In crime, yeah. Okay, so then ugly guy was upset, to say the least, about all the situation, and decided to kill Blondie, I guess. Vasanth,
Yeah.
could you continue?
Yes, he had to walk all the way along by foot to get a nearby city, or to get even a drop of water. So he was frustrated, and it triggered anger in him. So he wanted to kill the Blondie. So he somehow managed to reunite with his old allies um, in nowhere in the middle. So he gathered the team, and they went on to search Blondie, and at some point they found him in a hotel room.
Do you remember how he got a gun, this ugly guy?
Yes, he went to a gun shop, and he did some gun things. He how to say that?
Dismount, I guess.
Dismount. Yeah, dismantle. Yeah, he
Disassembled,
dismantled them and disassembled and assembled them. He seemed to be an expert in guns, and he even a sharpshooter. So he did that practicing thing behind the shop, and once he was about to leave, he said the price to the shopkeeper, but the shopkeeper was increasing the price every time. I was wondering why he is increasing the price. Then I understood that he was not asking about giving the money. He is actually asking money from the shopkeeper. So it's some sort of what to say that is that blackmailing or something? Yeah. Give me some-
irony, extortion.
yeah, extortion. Yeah.
And I read in some trivias on IMDb that when he checked these revolvers by
Spinning
spinning the, how we call this,
chamber.
chamber, by spinning the chamber or something, I read in the trivia that it's actually not important, but actor wanted to show that he's choosing, he's selecting this, and he's invented this.
He's listening to how smoothly it spins.
And trivia on IMDb said that he assembled the gun from 3 different models, and that is impossible. But it looked good. It looked good as again. Gerard, could you tell us about the background of the movie? So what time it happened?
Yes. The action of the movie happened in the middle of the American Civil War. That's very important. The money that they want to find, the trio wants to find, it's from the Confederates.
Yeah.
It's hidden with a guy that changed his name to Billie Carson, and Angel Eyes is after him. And eventually, they by chance the Blondie and Tuco met the guy in a diligence, carriage. How do you call that? Carriage, diligence.
It was a
With
kind of
horses?
chariot with the horses.
Chariot.
Actually, do you remember in the scene when they meet this Billie guy almost died? It was a horse with some kind of wagon or something.
Stagecoach? Stagecoach or a wagon?
Stagecoach. Yeah, wagon. Yeah.
Yeah, well, a stagecoach has passengers. The wagon is like open or has a cover over it, like a cloth cover.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember which kind, but we call it a wagon. If it's not a stagecoach, it's a wagon.
Yeah, it's a wagon because it was a military wagon.
Okay, wagon then probably. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Gerard, could you please describe the scene when Tuco with his gang tried to kill Blondie in a hotel or in saloon somewhere?
When in the motel.
Yeah, when they had a before they meet the wagons.
They send the 3 guys by the door, and because Blondie was dismantling and cleaning his revolver, and then heard some noise. He was assembling again, and because the noise of the spears, you know, from the woods.
Spur, the thing on our high boots to use for horses.
Spurs.
Yep. So you know he managed to kill the 3 guys, but Tuco was inside by the window. Tuco knew that Blondie was difficult to deceive. So,
but it was a lucky moment, right? Because there were a lot of soldiers and cannons on the street and a lot of noise, so it's impossible to hear. And then at that moment, everything stopped. Like I don't know why, poof, and silence. And then
they were marching, right?
They were marching, and then they got order probably to stop. And it was a silence for a moment. And the good hair heard the spurs on this Mexican gangsters. So just got lucky, I would say. So they found this stagecoach or wagon with almost dead soldiers. Sergey, do you remember this scene?
Yeah.
So please tell us about what happened.
And Tuca went to the stagecoach, and he saw a soldier who was dying, and soldier asked, "Please give me a water, give me water." And what? I know where is the gold, $200,000. What? Please tell me. Tell me where. It's a place where people.
Cemetery.
Cemetery. It's a cemetery of with name. I don't forget. Please, where? Please describe me where. And the place with soldier. Oh, please give me water. Stop! Don't die. What? Just a minute. I will return. And Tuca ran to the water, and this moment Blondie heard the name of the place, and when Tuca returned, the soldiers was dying. Oh my God. Tuca, I know where the name of soldiers. You don't kill me now.
Yeah, now you cannot kill me if you want to be rich, right?
Yeah. After that, they started to be the best friends because they have interest each other.
So there is a secret which is divided to 2 parts. Tuca knows the name of cemetery, and Blondie knows the name of the soldiers buried there, right? Gerard?
Great.
We forgot to talk about what happened before. That's important. So Tuco got Blondie. Blondie had another partner, and Tuco interfered, and the partner was dead, and then was walking with Blondie in the middle of the desert without giving him water, and Blondie was about to die, burned, because even without his hat. So then, luckily for Blondie, they met this wagon.
Do you remember how his face looked?
Yeah, like burned.
It was actually burned to, I don't know.
I think it's exaggerated in one day, being so burned.
Well, I guess it's possible in Mexico. Somewhere. So, Tishley, how we could call his face? He was in big, bubbles.
Blisters?
I guess blisters, yeah.
Sunburn.
If it's bubbles, we call them blisters, yeah.
He looked terrible. And Tuco tried to humiliate him in many ways. He washed his boots in the water, in his... when Blondie was watching, so it was probably, humiliation, I would say. Okay, Vasanth, so they have a dream team, would say. One, they know the secrets, and they got to get this money, right?
Yes.
What happens?
Yes, and he admitted him in the hospital, right? Once he knew that he know the cemeteries, the stone's name, so he admitted him in a church something that they gave him treatment, and he recovered from that sunburn. And they went to towards the cemetery, but while on their travel, they encountered with an army people. Initially they thought that their uniform was in gray color, but unfortunately it was all dust on their blue uniform.
Hello,
So,
we hate these southern peaks.
yeah.
Welcome, teacher. Welcome, General Lee. Yankee, go. And then soldiers came and what's the word for this? Get rid of the dust, and it's a blue uniform, right?
Yeah.
It's a moment of revelation.
Revelation, yeah.
Revelation. It was very funny.
So they tried to be friendly with the South, but they were Northern soldiers. Oops.
A mistake. So, and they were captured, right? And they now, how we call it, prisoners of war, right? In a camp. Would you like to continue with us?
Yes, I think they were war prisoners, and they were locked in a camp. In that place, Angel Eyes was there and looking for that Bill Carson. The ugly Tuco was wearing Bill Carson's eye patch, and he was pretending to be the Bill Carson. So once Angel Eyes found that the soldier was reading the attendants, the names of the prisoners one by one, he heard that Bill Carson was in the crew, so he asked him to meet in person. Meet him in person in his room. In his room, he gave him a dinner, I think, some food, and he started with a friendly talk, but later he started to beat him to get the information about the treasure.
As far as I remember, it was not only eye patch. Actually, Tuco called himself as Carson because it was the only name he knows of the soldiers, and he pretended to be a soldier because he had a uniform, and they went through this, how we call it, posts with soldiers, and so it's actually he's calling himself by Carson. So, and now the secret is not a secret anymore, right? Angel Eyes knows the cemetery name and knows about money, and it's a trio now, right? Gerard, would you like to continue?
Do you remember the detail of the small box that says Willie Carson? I think it's a snuff, the substance that makes you sneeze, sort of powder.
Snuff box,
Okay. So that's what the clue that make Angel Eyes to know that he must knew Willie Carson and what the information. What happened better? What do you want to know? What happened after?
Yeah. What happened after this? Yeah.
So, okay. Angel Eyes, with the help of a very strong and fat sergeant, beat Tuco. Tuco eventually gave the information about the cemetery, but also said that Blondie had the information about the grave. And instead of beating Blondie, Angel Eyes knew that Blondie was tougher than Tuco, and said, "Okay, we are going to go to find the treasure together."
Yeah. So, and they don't need Tuco anymore, right? They know everything what he knows. So they send him with other prisoners, I guess.
Took away with the sergeant, the sergeant in a train, but Tuco deceived him and throw him. They jumped together, but by surprise from the wagon, and in the fall, the sergeant was dead. And to cut the chain.
Yeah. How he calls it? Let me break our friendship, right?
He put the sergeant in the middle of the railway, and the other on the other side, and railway there was the chain, so a train to cut the chain. Good idea.
But do you think it's good? It's very scary, I would say, to lay here and to wait for a train. Yeah. So and then how he found? Then he started to chase those two, right?
Mhm.
How he found him? I don't remember actually.
I don't remember. I remember that Angel Eyes had six deputies, six guys to help him. So because the last advantage was for Blondie, because once it's known the cemetery, Blondie knows the grave. So
Yeah,
the most,
I want Blondie alive. Angel Eyes says because
Yeah.
he's unique. He knows information that nobody knows.
but if it was alone, Angel Eyes and Blondie, Angel Eyes knew that Blondie could be faster than him, or shooting. So it's too risky. So he didn't want to take risk and took six people more with him.
So yeah, do you remember this scene, this war inside this village or what it was? So between the gang of Angel Eyes and Tuco, and when Tuco and the Good formed an alliance. Could you continue from this moment?
Not, I don't remember this moment.
So it was
Do
a
you
small
mean the
village.
Do you mean the moment when Tuca go to the bus?
But it was after, I guess. No, I remember that that Tuco found them. Angel Eyes and Blondie found them, and they killed all these six people. Gerard said these assistants and deputies.
Not, I don't the moment. I don't remember the moment.
Yeah. Okay, let's continue with the next one. So after that, Tuco and Blondie, they formed a team and they went and found a bridge with soldiers, right? Soldiers.
Yeah, and they went to the North Army called Yankee, and they saw to the battle between South Army and North Army, and they were fighting on the bridge. I don't know why, but maybe it was convenient for them. And Yankee permanently shoot to the South Army, and once the moment, one moment, Tuco and Blondie solved to blow up the bridge, and they stolen explosive, and they put the explosive on above the bridge.
Under the bridge, on the props of the bridge.
Under the bridge, and during this moment they had discussed about the certainty and the grave, and after that Tuca thought, yes, I will go alone without.
So they shared secrets, so it's not a secret anymore. They both know.
Yeah.
So, Vola, do you remember this bridge and soldiers from the both sides?
Yes.
Yeah. So why they wanted to blow up the bridge? Why they wanted to destroy the bridge?
I don't remember.
Yeah. So it was distraction at a part, but as I got it, the idea was if there will be no bridge, there will be no reason for soldiers to be there. So they will go somewhere else and have their wars somewhere else. So it will clear the territory, And it was funny that they tried to enlist. They actually not tried to enlist, they tried to escape, the the capturing, and says, what's the reason bring you there? We are wanted to enlist, Captain. General Tuca said. Vasanth, do you remember how they tried to enlist?
Yes, they volunteered to the war, but the captain didn't seem to be very serious. He was a drunkard. He seemed like recruiting people for a football team, right? He just welcomed them and into the army, and he was blabbering about his wish about blowing the bridge and everything. But unfortunately, during the war, he was shot and he was on his deathbed, but still he wanted to hold back his life to hear that bridge blowing sound. You know?
Actually, I think that Captain has a point. We can disagree, but he said what he said. He said the weapons and rifles are not important. What is important is the spirit. And where we get the spirit? From the alcohol, from this bottle. So, I don't know is it work or not, but I know that in old times, during World War II in Russian army, before the attack, all the soldiers got some shot of alcohol, if you want. So probably it helped. I guess. I would like to have a shot before attack, before running, somewhere to unknown.
Why?
Because it's especially wrote it, it reduces stress, reduces your
Yeah.
fear of uncertainty, let's say.
Yeah. We call it liquid courage.
Yeah, so Captain seems to be, overtaking this courage. Okay, but it was scary. They had, they say, 2 attacks a day for this bridge, and both commanders forbid to destroy the bridge because both parties want the bridge like walking. So they try to shoot each other, but not to damage the bridge. When our dream team blasted it, they have no need to be there anymore. Okay, so they went to the cemetery. Well, do you remember cemetery? Yeah,
Yes.
They went to Tuco went to the cemetery and started to dig the hole, right?
Yes.
What happened? Did he found the gold money?
No.
Why?
Because good
The good Blondie? Mhm.
Blondie
Blondie lied. He did not tell the truth, right? He lied about the soldier name, right?
Mhm.
yes.
And then all the trio, I remember this scene. So Tuca's trying to dig the hole, and there is this how we call it, shovel, right?
Shovel, yep.
Shovel. It will be easier with this one, and then another shovel from Angeli. So the trio met at the cemetery. Leila, you watched this scene, right?
Right, I like that. They,
Yeah, well-
the three of them, looked at each other with such, serious looks, and their faces were full of
Leila,
excitement.
can I interrupt you for a moment? I just learned this phrase. They stare down. They stare each other down, right?
Right.
Okay, please.
To see who would blink first. Whoever
Who
blinks
blinked?
first is the loser.
Yeah, Angeli's blinked the first, right? And he died.
Actually, there was a pretty complicated plot, I would say, in this shooting. So they cannot kill Blondie, right? Why, Leila?
Because
Well,
Blondie is very, just careful, I think. He's a good observant, and also he is good at shooting, I think.
He was the only one who knows the name, the grave, right?
yeah, but remember in this scene, he picks up a rock and he writes the name on the rock. So theoretically, if they trust him, they can kill him now.
But
Right.
how can they trust if he already lied? He
Yeah,
already lied
yeah.
about the name, so I think that they could not shoot him, right? Because no guarantee at all. no
Yeah.
guarantees at all.
Then
So-
they had to, just dig everywhere. But why then they just, I don't know why he killed Angelis. Angelis didn't shoot at him. Yes, he shot at him, but he couldn't kill.
But each one would kill the other two given a chance, given the opportunity,
Right.
But
So
let's-
eventually they're all going to kill each other.
Yeah, eventually. But let's say you have only one shoot, right?
Yeah.
Like, only first. So the first shoot has like the best chances, right, to be executed. Let's say to be, because you probably will not have time for another shoot, or it's a possibility that you will not have time for another shoot. So you have to choose carefully your goal. And actually, with Vova and his brother, we play a game. We wrote down whom you will shoot in this case.
Oh wow.
Because it's a kind of a math equation, So you have to decide whom you will choose.
Kill the biggest threat first.
Right.
Yeah.
Vasanth, please.
Yes, Tuco and the Blondie took their first shot against the bad Angel Eyes. They know that however he will kill them at last. So just eliminate the first one, the most dangerous one first. Then deal it with the other one later. So like that.
Sergey, what do you think?
Several times ago, I watched the video about mathematician who explains the theory of games, and he explains this moment according to the theory of games. And we have two excellent shooter, and we have a weak. But in the theory of games, the weak could win in this battle, because it's a good strategy for be too weak, because the excellent shooter started to kill each other.
Exactly. So in science we call it game theory. Game theory is an important part of many things in IT, for instance. And as teacher Lee said, your first shoot must be to the bigger threat, right? To the bigger threat. So if you spend your shoot for a weak target, you will be killed most likely. So so that's the reason that weak target has the most chances to survive.
So
Really.
Ivan,
Yeah.
the good decided to kill Angel Eyes before. I think.
Actually, the good has more information than all of them, right? Because he discharged the gun of the ugly.
But you said Angel Eyes is the most dangerous one for him. So he killed him. And Teacher Lee taught us something, underdog, right? Tuco. Yeah. So I have learned it today.
Leila, explain it to
Tuco
us.
is an underdog, so no problem.
Leila, what does mean underdog? Could you explain?
Underdog is the person who is the weakest, who is the loser, because he can't think very properly, I think.
He has less chances, right? Actually, it seems to be that he has less chances. Actually, I like this scene. I don't know why. I missed this movie with someone else, but I expected that there will be a bell that start to ring on the church, the usual Western thing. When the ring start to bell, we start to shoot.
Yeah.
But there will no church, so I missed this with another movie probably.
And they showed a lot of eye contacts, to kind of build the tension. They're looking at one guy, they're looking at the other guy. They're looking at one guy, they're looking at the other guy. It's like, who's going to shoot first? Who's going to shoot who?
Long scene, I got bored.
No, I cannot say I got bored, because it was a fantastic scene, I would say. Fantastic.
You just looked at one, then looked at the other one, I said, okay, shoot, come on.
Shoot whom, Leila? That's the question. Shoot whom? Vasanth, please.
Such scenes are iconic in Western movies. Even in this movie, the beginning 10 minutes were dialogueless. There is no dialogue for the first 10 minutes.
If I were a director, I would, I don't know, I would prolong this scene for 10 minutes.
Thank you.
Let the audience decide who should.
Please.
Gerard, please.
I think the one it shouldn't be shot was Angel Eyes, because Blondie, because Blondie knew the name of the grave, and it could. Who knew of Tuco and Angel Eyes that was the name was really written on the rock. They couldn't know that. So I think Tuco and Angel Eyes should try to kill each other and left Blondie alive, just to have the chance to have a part of the money.
Possible, yeah.
Yeah, but some they have a complex equation. They can say, okay, I pass the money. I don't care about money more. I want to survive. It's a good motivation for me as well. Okay, well, what did we miss? So, what is your favorite lines? Please share. Let's. If you miss something or if you want to say something, Vasanth, please.
Yes, I like the dialogue. If you work for living, why kill yourself working? I like that.
Yeah, actually, there are some lines that I liked as well, and I posted in our chat because they look so masculine, toxic masculine. When I paid, I always follow my job through. Yeah, and when you have to shoot, shoot. Don't talk. It was funny,
Thanks, Ron. I'm learning.
Gerard,
Yeah,
please.
in all the movies, the bad guy's ready to kill the good guy, and he just keeps talking and talking and talking, and the good guy always defeats the bad guy. So don't
Right.
talk,
I
shoot.
like
Yeah.
As I said in the group, Tuco is the character more developed, and the actor has more job to do because we know a lot of things about Tuco, his name, his family,
Yeah.
and talks all the time. He's good at barely talks. He looks like Arnold in Terminator. Physically, his physical appearance is important, but he barely talks.
Yeah.
Another-
Yeah. Whoa, what is your favorite character
Mm.
in the movie?
I like Tuco the best because it's the one more interesting character. And he's the underdog, but actually Blondie had a worse time with thanks to Tuco. In the desert, Blondie was about to die and suffer a lot, more than Tuco. And Tuco, at the end, it looks it's bad ending for him, but he gets free and he gets half of the money, so it's not that bad. And the
Yeah.
horse of the Angel Eyes must be around of the cemetery, so.
Yeah. Exactly. Tuca was the most developed character, and it's kind of a spine for the whole movie, right? So all the events are around him. And Vova, what character from this trio you like the most?
Mm.
You can
I know.
choose.
Good and bad.
Good and bad, not Tuco.
Don't ask me.
Lela, yeah, tell us what is the best?
No, you know the answer.
No answer.
You know.
Vasanth, please.
Yes. Do you get the point in circuses? The clown has to be a master of all arts, all form of arts, so that he can perform during the act and can entertain the audience at any time, any point in that act. So just like that, the ugly character has the important role to do in this movie. He has to balance both the good and bad, and he has to stretch the movie towards the end. So he is the key point in this movie.
Right. Okay, we have a few questions there on our Padlet. So one of them.
I'll mention one thing just in general. The spaghetti western genre are all Clint Eastwood movies. He never really has a name in the movies, but what they have in common is there's no romance at all. No romance. It's the protagonists are very serious. It's always about greed. The dialogue is kind of minimal, and the eyes play an important part in the stare down, the confrontations. It's like, who's going to go first? Who's going to die? So the music has always got kind of a unique flavor,
Yeah.
marching music or bong gongs in the background, but they all have some general themes that you see in every movie. And that's what makes them, to me, their own little kind of special movie.
Yeah. And speaking of virus, speaking of COVID, Ennio Morricone, the author of music, died of this virus. So, but he was very old, very old. Yeah. And what else? Speaking about romance, there was a woman in this movie, right? Sergey, do you remember?
I remember the woman, but I
It's
remember the moment when Angelis treated one woman.
it wasn't too gently, right? Not a gentleman anymore. A gentleman.
No, it's a moment of romance.
Moment of romance, right? But not with Angelis, with Billie. Do you remember how in the dark room, who's there? Billie, you? Something like this. Okay, so music, yes, important, and brutality, right? Toxic masculinity.
Yeah, I missed that one. Brutality, a lot of violence, a lot of dying.
I hated him at that moment.
We all, Leila, don't doubt this.
Yeah,
Some critics actually count the number of people killed in each movie, and they'll report the body count. This movie had a high body count. 30 people were killed, or.
Yes. Vasanth, please.
I like the idea of using the same tune in different forms. Wah wah wah. Everyone
Yeah.
very different.
I always thought that was a musical instrument, like I thought it was a horn, and they were going wah wah wah, but it was a woman going wah wah wah. I was surprised.
Yeah. So why did this movie become a classic one? What do you think? Because it's good, right? Because it's created a new genre of Western.
It just has iconic moments that burn into your memory.
Right.
And
Okay.
the title, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, you see that in English everywhere. People refer to this. I'm going to tell you about this movie or this political situation. I'm going to tell you about the good, the bad, and the ugly. They're going to give you all the sides to it, So, very famous movie.
Yeah. Do
still
you remember?
famous,
And do you remember the last episode when they dig out the money, when they decided to share that in half? So, and again, the good guy do something inconvenient, I would say. Sergey, do you remember this?
Yeah, and Blondie, Blondie.
So
Blondie
why?
was returning and shoot the wire, and Tuco started to run. Blondie, it's a bitch.
Sergey, why we call the Blondie? Why we call Blondie like the good if he doing such terrible things?
I'm not sure that he was good, because we know that he's not good. He was good because he looks like a Clint Eastwood.
Oh no, he didn't kill innocent
Yeah, because
people,
wow,
maybe.
are you beautiful, Clint Eastwood? Yes,
Actually, I have my own answer. I think he was good, because he played a role of good. He bring these wanted criminals to sheriff. So he was a good vigilant, right? He got money because he was a good vigilant. I guess.
But on the other hand, Blondie has the moral principles, and he don't kill everywhere.
Yes.
He doesn't kill for money, but it's we don't like to Tuco because he's ugly. He's not good. He's nervous. But the boss, the boss have moral principles, maybe. But I'm not sure about Tuco.
Gerard, please.
So I think it's good because in comparison with Angelis and Tuco, he's good.
Yeah.
Because he has more moral principles. The other ones, Tuco sent these three guys to kill Blondie, but he knew that those guys were about to die. So
He wasn't sure, probably, but it was most likely. Yeah.
Most
sounds-
likely.
Yes, yes. That character differentiates Tuco from the good. Tuco is always greedy, and whenever he got a chance to betray him, he used it. He tried to use it. So he is that makes him good. The Blondie is good.
Wow, what kind of friends am I?
But I hate age lines from the first scene when he
Yeah, I
kills
agree.
this innocent sons of the guy. Yeah, so it wasn't something good, I would say.
If you look at the whole movie, Blondie and Tuco, Blondie kind of is affectionate towards Tuco. He had many occasions he could have killed him, but he let him live each time. The desert, the hanging, so he kept saving Tuco. I think a little bit of affection there, unspoken affection. He really didn't want to kill Tuco.
Right?
You're right.
Okay, I guess we are ready for slides, right? let's do some.
Oh, vasanth, great.
Wanted. Hey, that's pretty cool. Where'd you get that? Cactus, yeah, cacti, cactus.
Okay.
The good, the bad, and the ugly.
Can you see the picture? Something wrong with my zoom again.
Yeah, I can see the cover, the first screen.
I
Yeah,
can
there we
see.
go. Yep.
Okay.
Okay, those are called wagons or covered wagons. Yeah.
Let's start with Vova. So what can you see on this picture?
Well, I'm seeing the cover now, the first slide.
Yeah. First slide. Yeah, the letters. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Vova. So what is there? What this looks like?
Paper
Yeah.
with wanted.
Yes. I'm not sure how we call them. How we call them, teacher Leo? Poster?
Wanted posters.
Wanted posters. Okay. So at the end we can see wanted posters. And what is this, Vova? What do you think? What is made of? Cacti, right? Cactuses. Cacti. Yeah. And on the top. Yeah. They have heads, right? Well, why all these guys had heads?
Because they good.
Because it's very hot. Do you remember this big sombrero?
Right.
Because sun can burn you to death, I guess. Okay, Vova, please continue with this picture. What can you name there?
The wagon and mean
And what? Mountains?
yes
Mountains.
horses.
Horses, very good. Okay, so it looks like a farm to me or something. So we can see three wagons here, and two of them covered. One is partially covered, and one has a metal framework, right? Usually wrote frames, metal frames, and it looks like, I don't know, there is no grass almost. So it looks like what's the word for this? Prairie. Or...
Prairie's good, yeah. Little scattered plants like that, we call it scrub brush.
Scrub brush, okay. And this buildings on the left, I don't know. It's a farmhouses or something.
And
Maybe a very small town. I don't know. It's pretty ugly, yeah.
Okay, Sergey, do you have a question, please?
Yeah, and I remember my childhood, maybe between 1920, and I watched a movie about cowboys, and between the movie we have the advertisement, and very popular advertisement about cookies, wagon wheels, with cowboys. And I have a question for Teacher Lee. Do you know the wagon wheels cookie or not? Or
We have some cookies called animal crackers, but the box looks like a covered wagon.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah, those are very famous. You can still buy those today, but they're not as common. But yeah, they used to be very, very popular.
And Gerard, it's filmed in Andalusia, right?
Yes, Almeria.
Almeria, yeah. I was there. It was a popular place for shooting westerns. So it's actually what you can see. It's Spain, you know.
Spain, huh? Okay.
It was cheaper.
Cheaper, yeah. I guess. I don't know. At that time, was it cheaper or not?
Yeah, Spain was very cheap. You know, we were living in a dictatorship, and Spain was a very poor country.
Yeah. But it is a special place, Almeria. It's for many westerns shoot there. So yeah, it's still there. Still movie makers like it.
Maybe this was Madrid back in 1860.
No. It was in Andalusia. Okay, let's go forward. Leila, what can you see here?
I can see before Angel Eyes came, the boy is trying to help his father. I think it's a kind of, titularly, is it kind of grinding something?
It looks like a water pump because it has cups. So as they go through the water, they scoop up water, but I'm not sure.
I
looks
thought
like
it was the kind of grinding something. I don't know.
grinding,
But you are
yeah.
right.
I don't know.
How we call this animal? What is this animal?
Donkey.
Donkey. Right?
Oi.
Do you like donkeys?
Yeah. No.
No. Why? Please tell us. Yeah. What was it?
In background, I see the ban.
When? What?
Ban.
Stones? You mean or what?
Ban.
Band, right? Say.
Could it
Tell.
be B-U-N? Bun?
Maybe I don't. Tell me in Russian, please.
Сарай.
Okay. It's a building, barn. It's like a farmhouse or something like this.
Some
Yeah.
stone
Barn.
building, yeah.
Yeah. Very good. Very good. Okay.
Now this animal, we call it a donkey.
Mhm.
It's also called a jackass, which we call
Right.
people sometimes. A jackass is a jerk. We also call this a burro.
Mhm.
And I think a male donkey is called a mule.
Mule.
So you got
Yeah,
like 4 different names for this animal.
I guess actually I'm not sure, but I guess mule is another animal. It's kind of something between horse and donkey. Some kind of.
Okay, you might
selection.
be right. You might be right. But donkeys and mules have a stereotype that they're stubborn
Yeah.
and strong.
Like me, stubborn and strong.
Leila, what does it mean stubborn? Can you please explain?
A person decides to do something or wants to achieve something and never gives up.
Exactly.
So if they don't want to move, you can pull and pull and pull, but if they don't want to move, they won't move. They'll just stand there.
Just like me.
Move.
Vasanth, please, your question.
Teacher, how do we call the thing on the face? Is that harness?
Yeah, I'd call it a harness on the face.
Okay.
And the neck, we call that the yoke.
There is one thing that I don't like in this picture. So I don't see the reason for a boy to ride the donkey. What's the reason for that? You can sit in the chair. So donkey knows his way, He's attached to the rope. So there is no reason to ride him. It just makes the thing harder for him.
Maybe
you don't have to walk. Yeah.
Maybe it is difficult for the donkey to do it on his own.
Do you know this? I don't know this motivation thing that we say about carrot before the donkey. No?
Yeah.
So they have actually a stick and a string with a carrot on attached carrot,
Yeah,
and donkey just follow to the carrot, and you don't need the boy for this. It just works.
And there's no saddle.
No saddle.
Yeah.
So we have
No.
a term for that. We say riding bareback.
Mhm.
Bareback means the back of the horse is naked or has no saddle.
Mhm.
So he's sitting on a donkey bareback. He's got reins in his hand, and the
Mhm.
donkey has a harness and a yoke.
Yo, yeah.
Those are the
Oh.
three common terms for a horse or a
And I,
donkey.
and I would say that this pump kind of, artisanal, not very well designed and made of trash, right? Made of everything you can find. Something like this. So it
Yeah,
doesn't
kind
look
of
like
man-made, yeah.
almost Russian design, yeah. Vasanth, could you please describe this one?
This is the interior of the farmhouse, and we can see the family, the mother and the child, preparing for the food for the lunch, I think. We can see a lot of utensils on the table, soups and everything. Angel Eyes has just arrived. We can see water. How do we call that utensils that's used for holding water? No, jugs.
Pitchers.
Okay, pitchers. That's it.
Looks like ceramic dishes.
I would say the design of the room is kind of strange, right? So these walls, I don't understand why to build a house in this way.
Egyptian pyramid like.
Yeah, the Mexicans like arched walkways. I don't know why.
Yeah. Mhm.
How we call this? Can I say it's a crude wood or something? So it's not well polished or something.
Yeah,
So-
it's just very basic wood, plain wooden furniture.
Yeah, and the same adjective for the whole house, right? The walls are very crude, not decorated, not polished, nothing. I learned from the movie that this kind of on the top, this thing we call it a beam, right?
Yep,
Or some
yep, wooden beams.
wooden beams. Yeah, it was in the movie when the Tuca used this rope. He said,
Yeah.
"Put it through the beam."
Yeah. You know, we
It
have
looks
even
really good.
today some modern architecture of houses. Some of them have fake wooden beams just for the
Yeah.
atmosphere of the old days.
Actually, I we in some buildings in Moscow, on the above the entry we have a beam, and sometimes it's decorated with some lavr, some decoration like beam and craved lavr on it. I
Carved
guess
words.
yeah,
Okay.
I guess it's some, I don't know, some tradition or something, but
Yeah,
don't know why.
I'm not familiar with it, but it could be. Yeah.
Yeah, but actually it's not words. It's like plant lavr. It's used in Rome to show that you have something.
Oh, okay. Plant decorations or something. Okay.
Yeah,
Vines.
yeah. So it's arch for
Just
for
decorative.
for
Okay.
winners. Yeah. Okay. Let's skip a few to find this many details. Sergey, could you please find something here?
Yeah, there is a village with a typical building for Wild West, in my opinion,
Imagination.
imagination. Yeah, some people, a lot of horses, a lot of cowboys. I don't see the asphalt, and I can see only mud and some wagons. All buildings are made of wood,
Mhm.
and for my surprising, I can see two women. Maybe Okay, two women, and all men have a hat. I think it's a South state. That's why they have to have hat with big poles.
Sombrellos.
It's the color of the sun, I think.
So, can you read this title?
Yeah, marshal is maybe sheriff or policeman or major of this village. I don't know.
Yeah, some
Sheriffs
officials.
are local state, but marshals are federal. So a
Wow.
marshal's like a federal sheriff. They have more authority.
Teacher Lee described this guy who is attached to the horse like hog tied, right? Hog tied.
You tie the feet together so you can hang them upside down.
So actually, it's a scene when they are about to get reward, right, for this
Yes.
wanted guy. Yeah, and the street doesn't look good. I would say. So where is concrete? Where is the wooden? I don't know, path walk,
Sewage. System,
asphalt or something. Sewage, yeah.
And on the right side we can see a man who hang up his leg on this
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 fence.
wood plank.
How we call this fence? It's horse something.
We call that a hitching post.
Yeah, you told us. Yeah, no,
You hitch or tie your horse reins to the post so he can't get away, can't wander away. On the left, you'll see a stagecoach. That's different than a wagon. A stagecoach is to carry passengers in the shade.
It's kind of a bus, right? It serves to.
That was their only transportation back then for multiple passengers.
Yeah, things were very complex.
There's a sombrero, which is a unique looking hat. That large black hat. Sombreros have a very wide brim. It goes way out.
Yeah, nice. Do you think, Teacher Lee, that real American towns were like this?
That's what I always see in pictures. So I have to think it's probably what they really looked like.
Yeah, nice. Okay. Gerard, what is happening there?
Here we can see the ruse that Blondie and Tuco do. So Tuco is about to be hanged because his crimes. And on the background, in a barn, there is a Blondie ready to free Tuco with shooting his rifle. He's very good, and he is able to cut the rope with one shot. And also, when after shooting the rope that hangs Tuco, he shoots the heads of some important people, to scare them to say, okay, watch out, I'm very good at shooting, so don't try anything.
Would you describe some clothes there? There are a few styles, I would say.
Livery stable it says in the barn.
Yeah. Usually livery, it's kind of for horses, right? Livery?
Yeah, it's another name for stable or place to take care of your horses. Yeah.
The guy on the right, this bald one looks like a butcher to me, right?
Yeah. He got an apron. He's wearing an apron on the front to keep his clothes clean. A barn sometimes has an upper level. We call that the loft.
Loft, okay.
L-O-F-T. Some homes in America have a little loft. It's a little upstairs. It's kind of like a room, but it's open, and it looks like a barn loft. So sometimes we'll call it a loft. This home has a loft above the living room. It's like a little small open room. You go up the steps and be above the living room.
Mhm. Okay, let me try to describe a few people here. So the third one is kind of he wear kind of poncho or something. How we call it? Is it a poncho? This guy with a sombrero and kind of red or dark
I'd call it a poncho. Yeah,
dark red poncho. Okay, the next to him with a mustache, he has a clocks, right? Is it a watch on a chain?
Yeah, I think so. Stopwatch chain or a watch chain. Yep.
Watch chain and
you can see his buckle, his holster buckle in the front.
yeah, so we know that he has a gun, right? Probably some official or something. And the guy next to him, I don't know. Can we call this head fedora or not?
I don't think we had fedoras back in those days, but yeah, that's the closest I could describe it.
So he has a vest, right?
Yep.
Vest and
vest, striped shirt.
Another gun, yeah. The guy that we can see only partially, he has kind of a, I don't know, badge, right? Circle badge with a star.
Those are the sheriffs, yep.
Okay, this is a sheriff. Another the guy next to him, he has a neck kerchief or something, necktie almost, kind of.
How kerchief, yeah. The one sheriff has a kerchief.
And guy on the left has a cylinder on his head.
We call it a top hat.
Top hat. Top hat. Okay, top hat.
We still wear those. Well, in the early 1900s, that was a dress suit. You wore a top hat and a black suit. That's now the hat that you turn upside down and you reach inside and pull out a rabbit.
Teacher, yes, it's for magician. And another, maybe it will be funny for you. You know, in Soviet Union, we have propaganda against capitalism. And whenever you see a capitalist, it will be in cylinder, always. In this.
Like Abraham Lincoln, yeah.
Vasanth, please.
Teacher, what does Charlie Chaplin wear? Is that a top hat or something?
I can't remember, but I think so. I think he wore a top hat. Or was it round on top?
Round and short.
If it's round and short, we call it a bowler.
Okay.
Remember Odd Job?
Yep. Chinaman, yeah.
A bowler.
Yeah, exactly. This is a romantic part of the movie, right?
Don't say that. That's not politically correct, Ivan.
Okay, let's skip it then.
The liberals would cut that scene from the movie.
Okay, Vova, please. Could you find something on this picture?
There are a lot of guns.
A lot of guns, right? And parts of guns. Yeah. What else?
There are ropes.
Ropes, right?
Ropes. And he check what gun he need to
buy or to take, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So he's checking which gun is the best, which gun he can get, right? Very good. You know, we call this table, or I guess it's a shelf, right, teacher?
Showcase.
Showcase. Okay. There are how we call these ropes when they are like.
You're talking about that. Those are shelves. I'm sorry. Yeah.
How we call these ropes when they are circled, like a lasso or something? No,
we would call them coils of rope.
Coils of rope. Very, very nice. I can see sombrero here and a lot of, I don't know what is it exactly. Probably dynamite or some explosives, something like this. Because it's a gun shop, I think so.
Yeah.
Three bullets as well, Ivan.
What we say?
I said bullets. Maybe there are some bullets.
Yeah. Gerard, please.
I noticed in the movie that this box on the bottom that says Acme, like the brand that appears in the cartoon of the Coyote
Roadrunner.
and Roadrunner.
Yeah.
And is it an acronym or something?
Does it mean something? I don't know.
In the old days, it may have. Today, it just means the peak, the best. The Acme is the top.
I see. Well, I never knew this.
But it might have been a company a long time ago. I don't know.
Okay. So I can see this now. So it's a gun shop in general, right? I can see some cups here, some kerosene lamps, and a bottle of, I don't know, some alcohol. What it was at that time? Bourbon, rum.
Probably rum or bourbon or whiskey was real common.
Okay, whiskey. The color is strange to me, I would say.
Yeah.
Okay, this one. Layla, what is happening there? Just guess.
Wait.
No, I found a slide. I found a slide with a painting for you.
This is the hotel room, right? And if I'm not wrong, Blondie killed 3 guys who were trying to enter the room through the door, but Tuco came through the window, and now Tuco intended to hang Blondie. That was the scene. But accept this, Clint Eastwood was handsome. He was good looking, and that's why he deserves the name The Good.
Okay.
And if I'm not wrong, I remember that Blondie warned him about the cannons outside.
Yeah.
Okay. And the room, I don't like the design at all. And it's wooden everywhere, wooden beams, wooden. There are some tiles on the left, I think, and there's a picture on the wall. But there's nothing special for me. I could see the mirror only.
Well, I like these brick walls, at least. I like the way of sailing. I don't understand why it has many levels. What is at the top?
I didn't understand that, Ivan. Why? I don't know.
Probably a skylight, probably a window up there to let light in during the daytime.
Yeah. And they had a conversation when they mentioned some Biblian story. So Biblian story from the Christianity. They say there was a thunderstorm when the Yehuda was killed or something like this. And the good Blondie said it was not. Now it's not a thunderstorm. Now it's cannon shooting, something like that.
Yes, cannon shooting, and it became real.
It became real. Right? It was actually the reason why Blondie got escaped, right?
Yeah.
So what about this painting, Layla? Is it good?
I think it said she's a naked lady.
I guess it's kind of a French style or something. I don't know why, because there is a one lady partially dressed or something. We call it a French style. Don't know why.
It could be, yeah.
We almost have a joke. We say, draw me like a French lady. It's mean make a photo of me. Like,
really?
Yeah. When I pose like I'm a posh lady or something.
Thank you, Ivan. You told a lot of things.
Okay. If you look at this room, there's a brick wall on the left.
Right.
The back wall looks like it has wallpaper.
Yep.
The ceiling is wood with wooden beams. The furniture, the 2 chairs are kind of cushioned like velvet. The furniture is kind of polished and shiny. So this is nice furniture for those days. Maybe this is a hotel or a rich person's home.
Hotel, right.
But it's got nice furniture compared to the one we saw before with the Pueblo with angel eyes and the woman. That was a very poor house, but this room is very nice.
Vasanth, please, your question.
Yes, what a male chauvinistic era it would be. Why such naked women painting every time? Why not a male painting? I don't see that.
Vasanth,
It's not a common.
Vasanth, you can break this tradition. Just put a painting of naked men in your room. Sergey, could you please describe this picture?
Yeah, there is a moment when Tuca shown up his legs in this bucket, and there is a dessert where Blondie wants to drink something, and Tuca has a sombrero. Blondie doesn't have a gun, doesn't have a sombrero or hat, and he had a lot of problem with sun.
He's dying, actually, right?
Yeah.
I would die. I would die in such high boots with spurs in this hot weather.
I know. Yeah.
It's a flask, right? The circle one. This is cylinder. It's a flask or something. It looks like
In
a
the middle?
top of the barrel. Yeah.
Looks like a small barrel,
Mm-hmm.
partially under the ground. I don't know.
Actually, I can see that we can see strings of sombrero on the Tuca's neck, and another string from his I don't know what is poncho or jacket or something. So it looks like a necktie, but with a string.
Well, the drawstrings tie it to your neck so that the wind doesn't blow it off.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like he might have a necklace or a lanyard around his neck. I'm not sure what that is.
Yeah, necklace. So if you have necklace, you always can like make your short tough, right, and prevent sand and wind to get there. So for cowboys, right?
If it's something that you can tighten by sliding something, I'd call it a drawstring.
Mm-hmm.
You can pull it closed or pull it tight.
I see.
Usually it's two pieces of string that go through a little
Yeah.
wooden cylinder. So if you push the wooden cylinder up, the string is tight around your neck so the wind won't blow it off. When there's no wind, you can pull it down and loosen the strings, and it's more comfortable.
Okay, time flies, so let's make the last one. Let's choose one. Which you like, Gerard? Which one you like to describe? I'm scrolling through just to the iconic one.
Yeah. iconic one. The trio.
Yeah, the graveyard scene.
Yeah.
Please.
All those dead people, and there's going to be two more.
So three guys in the middle of the graveyard. It's like a sort of a square, round square, and
we'd call it a clearing. Yeah.
So they are more or less in the same distance, one to another, like a triangle, a perfect triangle. But it's a very long distance. It must have been difficult to shoot someone from such a long distance, because in the movie,
and they don't aim; they just shoot from the hip. It's like, I can't believe it.
in reality, shooting one person with a pistol is very easy, but it's like you look at the place and you shoot. But
it's not so easy. Yeah,
not so easy. We can see a lot of crosses here.
A lot of graves.
The stone graves.
You can call them tombstones. Or headstones or gravestones.
And have you noticed that they are different, right? Some of them circle these crosses. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Probably it's about religion or something, but I guess nobody care about this, right? On a war.
Yeah. Might just be unique so you can find the guy's grave. It's the one with the circle, I don't know.
Actually, what's the reason to have this circle, like, I don't know, square in the middle? So for some rituals, or for what?
It's unusual. Normally we don't have that.
Yeah.
I think they did that just for this movie.
Mm.
So you got dead people's graves all around, and they're in the middle, and they can spread out, and it's open. I think they just did that for the movie.
But in general, circular design for the graveyard, it's not usual, right?
Not that I've ever seen.
It looks like a bull ring, you know?
Yeah. Now here, for this particular design of graveyard, because there's so many graves, and it looks like there's a road on the left that leads to the circle. The circle might be for the wagons to pull up inside the graveyard so they can unload coffins and dead people. So it could be an unloading zone, if you will.
I see. Okay, time flies fast as always. So, but it was a nice movie. Thank you very much for the movie. It was nice discussion.
Okay,
Movie
tell me who chose it.
me, but
Oh, congratulations.
don't blame me for this. So,
No, I like it.
yeah, let's write your suggestions in our chat for the next movie. Let's make something different. Maybe it's time for sci-fi, I guess. Again, we had our pause, so we're ready, I guess.
Another genre.
Another genre,
Yeah.
yeah. So write in the chat. We will choose one. Thank you again. See you next week.
Bye bye.
Thank
bye.
you. Thank you. Bye-bye.